Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today in this video we are going to study about the leader election. We are studying this topic into the continuation of our data replication topic in our system design topic playlist. So you can watch it after that, or it can be an independent video as well, because you can study it after Kafka, Zookeeper, that how Zookeeper also manages leader election, how Quorum works. You can study this whole topic in this video. So without wasting any time, let's get started and study. So first of all, let's understand the context. So think of it that we have one master. So I will just write M. We have these three replicas here. Okay. Now the problem is whenever this master dies, okay, whenever this master is going to die, who will become the new master? This master is going to crash for some reason. Okay, there's going to be a crash in this master. Then who will become the new master? Which replica? R1. Let's say, let me just keep it R1. Let me just make it R2, or let me just make it R3. Which will become the new master? This is a question, and we are going to solve it in this video. So first of all, let's talk about the definition. What is leader election saying? That we just discussed that whenever the master crashes, which of the it will help you to decide which replica will become the new master. Okay, we covered it. Now let's move to the rules of the leader election. So in the rules of the leader election says that the new master, any of the three replicas that we are going to talk about. So let's say if we have the three replicas, one of the replica should be alive. Okay, this is the first rule. Second rule says that the replica should be most up to dated. Do you guys remember that we have studied about the write ahead logging? So write ahead logging says that we are going to write a log, and if we have the three replicas, any one of the replica is the most updated one. It means that there is going to be one replica, let's say R1 is going to be in sync with the master. If it is going to be the most sync, then there is a high chance that it can become the new master, because it is going to have the most updated data. That we have also studied in our last video, that the most updated one will become the new master. But is it going to be true? We are going to see that. Third topic is that accepted by majority and the quorum. We didn't study this in the last video. Okay, that there is going to be a quorum. It means that there is going to be an election going to happen, and whosoever is going to have the majority will win the election. Let's say there are going to be four nodes. Okay, four replicas. One node is, of course, is perfectly updated, but another three nodes, they are not updated, and still one of the node can become the master. Okay, that can possible with the help of this quorum. There is going to be a proper election, and anyone can win. Now the fourth is election starts whenever heartbeat timeout expires. What is this heartbeat timeout? So whatever is going to happen, that there is going to be a random timeout. Let's say 300 milliseconds. 300 milliseconds means that there is a timeout of 300 milliseconds, but in every 300 milliseconds, okay, this R1 will wait, okay, to get a R1 will pull the data from the master. Okay, for this R2, let can be 500. For R3, it can be anything. Let's say 200. Okay, till that time it is going to get the data, it is fine, but in that, like, if that time breaches, it knows that master is not available. Okay, if the master is not available, now we know very well that we can start the election. Okay, and this second property, this timeout expires, provide you one more thing. I told you that it is a random timeout. Okay, if it is a heartbeat timeout expires and it is random in nature, okay, I'll just write it out. I think it's missed it. Okay, it is random in nature, so that all the three services like R1, R2 and R3 will not going to start the election at the same time. Okay, this is the important point. Election is going to be started by any one of the replica. Maybe it will win or maybe it will lose. Once its election is over, any other replica will start the election. Then it will lose or it will win. Maybe it wins, then it will become the master. But if it lose, then what is going to happen? Another replica will start the election, and this will keep on happening till that time we will find our master. It means our master node. So now let's talk about the Raft first. Raft is a consensus algorithm. Usually we use consensus algorithm in blockchain. Okay, there's proof of work and proof of stake if you've studied it. It's a consensus algorithm where we have to choose who in the cluster, like there are multiple nodes in the cluster, who will win, who will get the majority. And leader election is one of the core part of the Raft. That's why we are just discussing about the Raft. What is Raft? The Raft is a consensus algorithm, and leader election is the core part of that particular leader election. This all the election is going to help with the help of the Raft, because Raft is the original algorithm and leader election is a part of it. So we have to follow the rules of the Raft as well. Okay, so we'll discuss the rules of the Raft before we start the leader election. So we'll just going to see the rules, and they are, you don't have to like read every single thing. I'll just tell you, they're just very simple rules, and we have already discussed some of them. Okay, so there are some specific rules that I mentioned here, that every follower has a random election timeout. Okay, we already discussed it, that there's going to be a random election timeout. Okay, there's going to be a random timeout, and this follower will say that I'm alive. Okay, that typically 150 millisecond to 300 millisecond, and it is clearly mentioned the leader sends heartbeat to all the followers to say that I'm alive. Okay, if they didn't get this heartbeat, or if they didn't get this pull notification from the master, then you can say that master is not alive right now, and we can start the election. Now there is a Raft vote request tool. We are going to see the proper election at the end. These are some points that you should know. Okay, these are not that tough. The thing is, whenever candidate sends a vote request, now the voting is happening. All the four replicas are going to vote. One of the replica, let's say R1, started the election. So it will send a vote request. Please vote for me. Now in the voting, you have to remember only one point. We have studied about the write ahead logging. So R1 requests for the vote to, let's say, R2. If the R2 is the most updated one, okay, then it will vote no. If the R2 is less updated one or equally updated to R1, then it will say yes. Okay, I hope you understand. If R2 is the most updated one, it means that its logs are equally synced with the master. Then it will say no, because it is the most updated one. It will not vote for the R1. But if the R1 is less up, like if the R1 and R2 are equal, then R2 will say yes, I can vote for you because you have the same number of logs, or you are like, you don't have the most updated logs. I can say yes to you. This is the thing that we have to remember. The third thing is that R1 can vote for itself. So if let's say there are two nodes R1 and R2, okay, then what is going to happen? R1 can vote for itself, and in the R2 what is going to happen? If R2 is most updated, then R2 will say no. If R2 is equal to R1 or R2 is less than R1, then what is going to happen? R2 will say yes. So R1 will get the two votes. This is known as the Raft vote request rule. The third point is the term number. So we usually use the term number because, for example, let's say R1 and R2 started the election at the same time. Every time what is going to happen, their voting is going to happen. Let's say R1, R2 and R3, they are the three replicas and they started the election. Let's say first one R1 has started. So what we are going to do, we are going to increment our term number. Okay, so R1 has started, our term number is 1. So when the election is going on at the same time for the R1, at the same time the timeout of R2 is also there. Okay, so what is going to happen? The election R2 will also start the increment, but the term number is going to be 2. Okay, previously when R1 started, the term number is 1. Now the term number is 2. Then in that case, what is going to happen? Like there are like two elections going on at the same time, but the winner is going to be the one who will get the most vote, the quorum, of course. But the thing is that there is no confusion. For that, we maintain this term number. Now these votes are for the election 1, these votes are for the election 2, and whosoever will win first will win. Okay, so this is how the election works. That's why we manage the term number. We also studied now the Raft rules. Now let's move to the original election. So now let's see how the election happened. So first of all, let's generate the situation. What is the need of the election? So let's say there is one leader A and there are the three followers B, C and D. Okay, when the election is going to happen? Whenever this A leader will crash. Okay, so A crashes, who will become the leader? This is the confusion. So now the confusion is that B can also become a leader, C can also become a leader, and D can also become a leader. It causes a split brain problem. Split brain problem causes only when we don't know who will start the election. Okay, for example, C and D both wants to start the election at the same time. Okay, then we reach into the territory of this split brain problem. C and D both have the same number of log. They want to start the election at the same time. Then we are in the split brain territory because like we are so confused like which will become the leader, C or D. Okay, so we'll talk about it, that how we resolve this split brain problem. It is not that big deal, but this is known as the split brain problem. Now, let's talk about the quorum. So quorum says that there is going to be a proper voting in the leader election, and whosoever has the majority will win the election. That is known as the quorum. Okay, let's read the definition here as well. Minimum number of nodes required to make a decision. In most system, quorum is equals to floor n by 2 plus 1. Okay. Okay. Now the thing is, we know that the master is died. Okay. If the master is died, we know that the master has crashed. In that case, still the cluster size is still 4. Master is right, it means the master cannot vote, but our cluster size is 4. Majority is still calculated from the total configured node. This is the important point to remember. So majority is equals to floor 4 by 2, because if you will notice here, we have 4 nodes A, B, C and D. That's why we are doing this calculation by 4 by 2 plus 1 equals to 3. So whenever the election happen, any one of the node, let's say A should win A should get the 3 nodes, or let's say A is not into the A is the master. B should get the 3 votes, or C should get the 3 votes, or D should get the 3 votes. Any one should get the 3 votes. So this is known as the quorum. And I also did some calculations here. What will going to happen? Let's say if n equals to 3, it means that A is the master and B and C are the followers, and A crashes. Then B should get the 2 votes. If n equals to 4, it means A is the master, B and C and D are our replicas. Okay, so B should get, let's say, 3 votes to be a new master. If n equals to 5, it means that A is the master, B, C, D and E are the replicas, and let's say if D wants to become a new master, it should get at least 3 votes to be a master. This is known as the quorum, and these are the number of counts. This is the calculation how many votes you should have to be a new master. Now let's see the different scenarios. I've created so many scenarios here, see. So we are going to discuss each of them one by one, and we'll see what is going to happen in these scenarios. Okay, so that you will get a better understanding. So first of all, let's start with node n equals to 4. Please don't be confused why I make 3 nodes here, A, B, C and D, because there was going to be an A node that already crashes, but the total number of nodes in our system was 4. Okay, A is crashed, but the total number of nodes in the system are still 4. So let's assume that B is the most updated one. We have to remember 2 things in this election: the Raft rules and the leader election rules. Okay, so leader election rule says that B is alive, C is alive and D is alive. Anyone can become the master. Okay. Secondly, B is the most updated one. C is the most, like C is not that most updated one, and D is not the most updated one. B is the most updated one. Third point is the timeout. Like who will start the election? Let's say, for example, we can start the election with D. If we start the election with D, in that scenario, think of it. D will ask from the vote from C, and C can give the vote. Okay, it is possible that C can give the vote properly, because C and D are like they are equal to each other. They can give the vote. Secondly, let's say if C started the election, okay, if C started the election, D can give the vote. Okay, and C will itself give the vote to itself. D can also give the vote to itself. So C can get max to max 2 votes, and D can also get max to max 2 votes. They cannot get the vote from B ever, because B is the most updated one, and we studied into the Raft rule. We can only get the vote from B, okay, if B is equal to C or B is less than C, but B is the most updated one, so B will never vote yes in this scenario. So now we know that if B will not vote, okay, now we know that C will only get 2 votes max and D can only get 2 votes max. So think of it. Let's go back to the quorum. Can and in this scenario, can C and D can ever become a leader? The answer is no, because we need the majority of 3 and we only get majority of 2 for C and D. So in that case, let's see if the B has started the election. Now it's B's turn to start the election. Now what is going to happen? So now in this case, what is going to happen? That B started the election. B will vote for itself. Okay. B will go and ask for the vote from C, and C will give the vote to B, because B is the most updated one. And again, B will ask for the vote for D. Again, they will give the vote to B, because B is the most updated one. So hence B will win in this case, because B has the most updated locks. Now I'll just change this line. I just noticed that I wrote something, C and D can never become. I'm very sorry that I wrote it, C and D can become a leader. B can vote, and note B is the most updated one, hence B will become a leader. I will just write it like, yeah. So we studied this part. Now let's move. If we have the three nodes, okay, A is hidden, A is crashed, but it still exists in system. That's why we mentioned three nodes. Okay, in this case, it is pretty simple. B will become the leader because B is again the most updated one. Now, what is going to happen? B will start the election, and now when B will start the election, okay, B will vote for itself, and when B asks from the vote from C, C will also vote. Hence, B will get the two vote, and B will become the new leader. It is clear. What is going to happen when we have the five nodes? Okay, tricky situation. When we have the five nodes, remember in the five we have to just get the three votes. In the five we have to get the three votes, and it is very tricky. So please try to understand. If B starts the election, it is pretty simple. B will vote for itself. It will ask from the vote from C. C will also give. It will ask for E. E will also give. It will ask for D. D will also give. Perfect. Okay. B started the election, then definitely B is winning. But now let's say D started the election. Okay. D started. D will vote for itself. Perfect. D votes for itself. Got one vote. Now D will ask from the vote for B. B will not give. Okay. So now D got one vote from itself. B didn't give. So D, the count is still 1. D will ask from the vote from C. C will definitely give because D and C are equal right now, and in the equal situation, C can give the vote. Perfect. D is now on 2. And in the third situation, what is going to happen? In the case of E, okay, E can also give because D and E are also equal. In that case, D can also become a leader. Similarly, C can also become a leader if C has started, and E can also become a leader. Now you see a situation where B is the most updated one. It means that B has the most updated lock. Still, it is not able to become a leader. This is a situation where the most updated one will not become the leader. I hope you will able to understand this thing. Now I created some more scenarios. Okay, these I will not take that much time because we discussed everything in detail. Let's say for example, B and C both are the most updated one. Okay, B and C are both updated one. Now again, like we are in the territory of the split brain problem because B and C both have the updated locks. The thing is, the only solution between them is that which one is going to be starting the election. If the B started the election, it will become the leader. If the C started the election, it will become the leader. Hence, you will be able to solve the split brain problem in this situation. Similarly, in node equals to 3 also, what is going to happen? They are the most updated one, which is going to start the election. Okay. Let's say if B started the election, B will become. If C started the election, then C will become. Now in the node equals to 5, what is going to happen? B and C are the most updated one. Here D and E will never get 3 votes because B will never vote for D and C will never vote for D. Okay, so D will never become a leader, E will never become a leader. So the only chance between to become a leader between B and C. And of course, who is going to start the election? If let's say B started the election, then B will become. If C started the election, then C will become. So I hope we covered every single scenario now. We solved the split brain problem with the help of who is going to start an election. Secondly, we see the scenario in this particular one, node equals to 5, when B is the most updated one, that the most updated one, the most updated right ahead log, there is a very less chance that it will also win. There can be a situation where the least updated one node can also win. In this scenario, C, D and E can win. We studied it very well. Now we are on the last part of this video where we are going to see how election actually happens in the system. We are going to see that now. So for understanding the election, we should know that there are going to be some of the requests. First one is going to be the heartbeats. Vote request, vote yes, vote no, I am the leader. Heartbeat is the request that leader sent. Yes, I am alive, everything is perfectly fine. When the heartbeat is not coming, that we know that we have to start an election. Vote request, we studied that. Vote request, what the vote request was saying? That please vote for me. Okay, I need a vote. So let's say whoever will start the election will send the vote request to every other node. If R1 started the election, it will send the vote request to R2, R3 and R4. Now these replicas R2, R3 and R4 has a choice to vote yes or to vote no. Okay, if the timestamp is equal or low, then they will say yes. If the timestamp is greater than, okay, then they will say no. I am the most updated one, I will vote no for you. Okay, so this is the vote yes and vote no. And the finally is whosoever will become the leader, it will just, let's say there are now three nodes B, C and D. Election happen and B becomes the leader. In that case, what is going to happen? B will send a final request to C and D and say that now I become a leader. Now we are going to stop the election, and then we will continue the same thing. Like we'll take the request from the server and it will all start. Now let's see how election looks like. Actually, we'll see understand the request and then we will going to see how election actually looks. So for example, B started the election in this scenario and it will ask for the vote from A. Okay, because heartbeat is coming right now when A crashes. Okay, now A has crashed. This is the leader ID, term 5, timeout 300, timeout 330, timeout 310. Now B started the election, then B sent the request to C, vote request, candidate B, term 6. B asked for the vote request, candidate B, term 6. And let's say B is the most updated one, so B will become the leader, and now B will send the request, I am the leader and I am the leader. Now the final look will be something like that B will become the leader and C will the child and D is the child. Okay, I hope you understand that is the simple election. Now we see one more scenario, how we solve the split brain problem. When I told you this scenario that B and C start the election at the same time, this B and C both start the election at the same time. Somehow their timeouts are also equal. Okay, we are in the complete territory of split brain. Now what is going to happen? A has crashed. Now what is going to happen? That see, A has crashed, B and C, the timeout is 300 and 300. B started the election. Think of that. B will ask from the vote from D. Perfect. B can ask for the vote. C will also ask for the vote D. Okay, vote request and vote request. Now what is going to happen? D will request yes to B. Term 6. Now there is an important point. We studied about vote yes and vote no. So vote yes was like I'll vote for you. Okay, we discussed this scenario that say yes in the situation when D is less than the B. Okay, we will say yes. D's time is less than the B's time. Then D can say yes. D can say no to D can say no to C because maybe the time is equal. D can say yes to also C. Okay, there can be any situation. But remember, we have studied about the term number. The election has started at the same time. The term number is same here. Now, what is going to happen? D will vote no because D will say that I have already voted for B. Whosoever will get the first vote will be considered. So D has voted for B, so D will not vote for C in that particular election. Okay, now what is going to happen? B will request vote. Okay, C will request vote to B, vote no and vote no. Now finally node B got votes, B plus 2 votes. So now the thing is, B got the votes. Okay, let's say B will vote for itself. Okay, and D votes for, let's say D also votes for B. Let's say C didn't vote for some reason. Now what is going to happen? Node B got 2 votes. Okay, let's say the C is the most updated one and node B didn't get the complete votes. It loses. Now again, this is the important point. Now what we are going to do, we are again going to set the timeout because election happened and somehow B didn't win. Okay, B didn't win somehow any of the situation. Let's say the C is the most updated one, their timeouts are same but the B started the election. Okay, in that case B didn't win, and if B didn't win, we again set the timeouts. If we again set the timeouts, the timeout will be set and this time the C will start the election. And when C will start the election, then what is going to happen? We again go to this scenario, and if C will start the election, then again we will have then this normal election. Okay, this kind of normal election, and this time C will win. And this time the C will win because C is the most updated one, and everyone, B will also vote for C and D will also vote for C. So this is how this leader election work. I like try to explain every single thing in detail You can also see all these things on my website on designingsystems.dev. So you can go and study this whole notes. You can watch my video. So this is it for the whole video. Thank you for watching me, and we will meet in our next video, and bye bye.